Briefing content. COVID-19 infection may have anti-cancer effects. Recent research has found that the RNA of the COVID-19 virus can stimulate immune cells known as inducible non-classical monocytes, I-NCMs, which show potential in attacking cancer cells, opening up new possibilities for future cancer treatments. The research team observed that during severe COVID-19 infections, these I-NCMs proliferate significantly and can infiltrate the tumor microenvironment, releasing chemicals that recruit natural killer cells to directly attack cancer cells, thereby helping to shrink tumors. Further studies revealed that even without COVID-19 infection, these I-NCMs can be induced through pharmacological means. In animal trials, this approach was able to reduce tumor volume by 60% to 70%. Although this discovery is still in its early stages, researchers express hope that it could translate into clinical applications in the future, particularly for patients with advanced, hard-to-treat cancers. The next step will be to conduct clinical trials to verify the safety and efficacy of this method. Briefing content. November 19, 2024. Subject: Time Magazine. Key points. 1. China has the largest electric vehicle market, but He Xiaopeng, CEO of Xiong'an New Energy Vehicles, predicts that most Chinese automakers will not survive in the next decade, with only 7 major companies likely to remain. 2. Mercedes-Benz CEO Ola Kalinius shares a similar view, stating that many Chinese electric vehicle companies will exit the market within the next 5 years. 3. A man was beaten to death by a former congressional candidate at a Halloween party held at a resort hotel in Las Vegas, leading the victim's family to sue the hotel and party organizers for negligence. 4. After enduring abuse from her husband during 40 years of marriage, a woman ultimately decided to divorce and start anew. She sought a new social circle in a different city, experiencing loneliness and struggle, but eventually found her own way of life. Summary: the article covers the intense competition in the Chinese automotive industry, a murder case, and the story of a woman rebuilding her life. Each topic is distinct but revolves around the theme of time, reflecting the passage and changes over time. The article is rich in content, highlights key information, and maintains a compact overall structure, achieving the desired balance. National Geographic Magazine Briefing. November 19, 2024. Main content. 1. Research on Greenland glaciers reveals that the island's temperatures have fluctuated significantly over the past millennia, indicating that natural climate changes could occur dramatically within decades. 2. Latest predictions suggest that by 2100, global glacier melt will exceed the forecasts of the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, with a Swiss glacier melting at an astonishing rate. 3. The world's largest coral reef community has been discovered in the Solomon Islands, consisting of nearly 1 billion genetically identical coral polyps, resembling a single organism. Despite its current good condition, it faces threats from global warming and overfishing. 4. The National Geographic Society is rebuilding a sustainable exploration museum in Washington, D.C., expected to open in mid-2026. The museum will feature photography galleries, explorer landing zones, immersive experiences, and showcase National Geographic's photography, exploration, and nature documentaries through advanced technology. In summary, this issue of National Geographic focuses on climate change, coral reef conservation, and the construction of a new museum, highlighting the latest scientific discoveries and conservation efforts, providing readers with comprehensive and vivid information. Briefing. 1. Following Trump's election, the U.S. stock market surged as investors believed he would implement lower taxes and less regulation. However, some analysts warned that the market could be overheated, posing a bubble risk. 2. The price-to-earnings ratio of the S&P 500 has exceeded historical averages, and bond yields are rising, indicating that investors expect future inflation and fiscal deficits to increase. 3. Trump's proposed trade policies, such as imposing a 60% tariff on Chinese goods, could lead to a 3% decline in the S&P 500's earnings per share. 4. Trump's nomination of vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as health secretary caused pharmaceutical stocks like Moderna and Pfizer to drop. 5. The surge of tech stocks like Tesla has significantly increased Elon Musk's wealth. Small-cap stocks and options trading are also thriving. 6. Details on Levi's jeans can identify vintage pairs produced between 1949 to 1954, valued at up to $33,000. 7. ByteDance is repurchasing shares at a valuation of $30 billion, as investors believe Trump's re-election would benefit TikTok's prospects in the U.S. Overall, Trump's election has led to a general rise in U.S. stocks, but there are concerns about inflation pressures and trade policy risks. Meanwhile, companies like Levi's and TikTok are showing unique development trends. Briefing content. November 19, 2024. Subject: ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, valued at $30 billion amid U.S. ban pressure. Key points. 1. ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, recently informed investors that it is repurchasing shares at $180 per share, self-valuing at approximately $30 billion. 2. President Biden signed a bill requiring ByteDance to sell TikTok by January 19, 2023, or face a ban. The White House hopes to end Chinese ownership but does not want to completely ban TikTok. 3. Trump has expressed support for TikTok, viewing it as beneficial for market competition, but previously regarded it as a national security threat. 4. TikTok and ByteDance have filed a lawsuit in U.S. federal court to block the bill signed by Biden. Summary. ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, is self-valued at $30 billion but faces pressure from the U.S. government's ban. The Biden administration demands the sale of TikTok by January 19, 2023, while also expressing a desire not to completely ban the app. TikTok and ByteDance are taking legal action to address this situation. This contradictory scenario reflects TikTok's complex position in the U.S. market. Briefing content. On November 19, 2024, Laura Hellmuth, editor-in-chief of Scientific American, announced her resignation following a controversy sparked by a series of derogatory social media posts she made on election night, criticizing supporters of President Trump. Hellmuth posted on Blue Sky that she'd decided to leave Scientific American after serving as editor for 4.5 years. She stated she would take some time to think about what comes next and go birdwatching. This decision came shortly after Hellmuth's controversial posts about Trump supporters, in which she used vulgar language to criticize them, igniting outrage among some social media users who felt such public comments were inappropriate for the editor of a scientific magazine. Hellmuth later deleted the posts and issued an apology on Blue Sky, acknowledging that the posts were offensive and inappropriate and expressing her respect for individuals with various political orientations. Scientific American President Kimberly Lau stated that Hellmuth's resignation was her own decision. Lau thanked Hellmuth for leading the magazine to win several significant science communication awards and for establishing a new digital news center during her tenure. Overall, this incident highlights the balance between political stance and objectivity for Hellmuth as a scientific magazine editor. Her resignation has sparked discussions about whether scientific institutions should maintain neutrality. Briefing content. Nature magazine's November 19 issue focuses on an important factor in cancer treatment: extracellular circular DNA, ecDNA. Several papers delve into the role of ecDNA in cancer development and treatment resistance. 1. Swanton et al. Provide a comprehensive overview of ecDNA in cancer, including its frequency, origins, and associations with prognosis. 2. Chong and Mischel et al. Reveal how ecDNA is inherited during cell division, driving cancer progression. 3. Mischel, Chong, and Hassig et al. Identify a potential vulnerability in cancers containing ecDNA, which may open new avenues for treatment. 4. Faltas et al. Explore how ecDNA promotes the evolution and treatment resistance of bladder cancer. These studies provide crucial insights into the key role of ecDNA in cancer development, offering new ideas for future treatment strategies. Additionally, the article reports on the challenges of dam management in Maine. 1. Maine's dam infrastructure is aging, but there is a severe shortage of personnel and funding for dam safety programs, making effective enforcement and maintenance difficult. 2. Climate change has led to an increase in extreme weather events, posing new threats to dam safety, but existing standards have not fully accounted for climate change factors. 3. Some dam owners are opting to abandon maintenance responsibilities, creating risks for local communities, necessitating new response measures. In summary, this issue of Nature magazine focuses on the important factor of ecDNA in cancer treatment and the challenges of dam management in Maine, providing valuable information and insights for research and practice in related fields. November 19, 2024 briefing. Trump's re-election as president is shocking. The article analyzes several key points of this election. 1. Polls once again underestimated Trump's support. Despite more accurate polling, Trump's popularity was still underestimated. When people feel marginalized and are recovering from the pandemic, Trump's tough stance and economic promises resonate more with voters. 2. The Democratic Party faces severe challenges. The election results indicate that the Democratic Party needs to reassess its strategies and positioning. Significant changes are expected within the party over the next year. 3. A shift in campaign strategies. This election may signal a transition in the political battlefield from traditional groundwork to the internet and new media. Podcasts, social media, and live streaming may become the main arenas for political struggles. 4. The rise of tech giants. Tech leaders like Elon Musk are expected to play significant roles in future governments, marking an unprecedented oligarchic arrangement. In summary, the election results indicate significant changes in the U.S. political landscape, with the Democratic Party facing major challenges and tech giants playing key roles in future political dynamics. These changes warrant close attention and in-depth analysis. Briefing content. On November 19, 2024, Harvard Business Review published a series of intriguing articles. 1. Remote work can bring colleagues closer together. New research shows that remote work via video calls allows employees to gain a more authentic understanding of each other's personal lives, thereby enhancing relationships among colleagues. The article offers managers advice on weighing the pros and cons when considering recalling employees to the office. 2. The Trump administration appointed several controversial figures to key government positions, drawing widespread attention. This includes the nomination of Fox News host Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, who previously defended military personnel accused of war crimes. The article analyzes the backgrounds of these nominees and their potential impacts. 3. To gain respect and action from others, 3 key factors are necessary. 1. Appeal to emotions rather than logic. 2. Remain approachable and relatable. 3. Present a clear call to action. These suggestions can help elicit positive responses from others. Overall, these articles explore current work patterns, political dynamics, and personal influence from various angles, providing readers with rich insights and practical advice. Not enough relevant content to generate a news broadcast script. Not enough relevant content to generate a news broadcast script. November 19, 2024 briefing. 1. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Stone, lower limb, will miss this Sunday's home game against Washington. This marks his 5th consecutive absence, and it is unclear when he will return. 2. After 2 weekends of revelry at Austin's largest annual music festival, Dasha performed for the 2nd time at the Green Room Series event at the South Congress Hotel, representing Pedron Tequila and Rolling Stone magazine. This performance perfectly summarized her performance journey in Austin. 3. The Green Room Series offers fans a unique opportunity to get up close and personal with their favorite artists and witness behind-the-scenes moments. A week prior, Mr. Wives delivered an unforgettable performance here, and now it was Dasha's turn to let the audience experience the behind-the-scenes charm once again. 4. Before taking the stage, Dasha enjoyed the amenities of the Green Room, such as polishing her cowboy boots at the shoe station, sipping Pedron tequila cocktails, and posing with a custom sparkling Pedron silver bottle in front of the makeup mirror. She then sat down for an interview with Rolling Stone's supervising producer Delisa Shannon, sharing insights about her upcoming single and her love for performing in front of small audiences. 5. Dasha expressed that Austin is one of her favorite places, which is also why her single peaked at number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100 in June this year. She shared the magic of performing in this city, where the audience enthusiastically embraced her song as the city's anthem. 6. During her first tour, Dasha faced an unprecedentedly large audience. However, she prefers intimate interactions with fans, jumping into the crowd during her Green Room performance to dance with them. She hopes to foster a sense of community among her fans through music. Briefing content. November 19, 2024 Wired Journal. Main content. 1. Prolonged sitting is harmful to health, but standing desks also pose risks. Research findings on the pros and cons of standing desks remain controversial. 2. Some studies suggest that not all sitting leads to health issues. The key lies in the specific contexts and populations involved. 3. Nevertheless, overall, prolonged sitting is associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases and mortality. This has driven the rise of standing desks. 4. 2 new studies provide more detailed evidence regarding the potential benefits and risks of standing desks. 5. Additionally, the report highlights the phenomenon of people focusing on multiple screens during the 2024 U.S. elections and the issues of attention distraction associated with this multi-screen engagement. In summary, the article explores issues related to prolonged sitting, standing desks, and multi-screen attention distraction from various angles, providing readers with comprehensive and in-depth insights. Briefing. Subject: common phrases people use when overly kind and lacking boundaries. Core points. 1. Overly kindness and lack of boundaries can lead to emotional suppression. People need to learn to express their true feelings. 2. Common phrases like "I don't mind" and "I don't want to upset anyone" reflect a lack of boundaries and initiative. 3. This behavioral pattern may lead to negative emotions such as regret, anxiety, and depression, affecting mental and physical health. 4. In contrast, learning to set boundaries and express one's thoughts and needs candidly can foster better interpersonal relationships and reduce stress. 5. The know thyself concept proposed by the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates also provides insights for modern individuals on how to establish self-awareness and a healthy lifestyle. Summary: overly kindness and lack of boundaries can negatively impact individuals. Learning to express oneself honestly, set reasonable boundaries, and reflect on oneself is key to establishing a healthy lifestyle. Socrates' thoughts offer valuable guidance for modern individuals. Briefing content. On November 19, 2024, Anne Applebaum, a writer for The Atlantic, received the German Book Trade Peace Prize in Frankfurt, recognizing her indispensable contributions to the defense of democracy. In her acceptance speech, Applebaum reflected on her experiences studying Soviet history. She noted that Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea in 2014 marked a collision between the past and the present, with Russia once again employing Soviet-era strategies for aggression. Since then, Russia's internal autocratic rule and its war against Ukraine have escalated, while the unity of Western democratic nations has also been shaken. Applebaum emphasized that in the face of Russia's aggression, democratic nations should not succumb to the temptation of pacifism, but should firmly support Ukraine in achieving victory. This is not only about Ukraine's fate but also about the future of democracy in Europe and globally. She called on democratic countries like Germany to take on leadership roles and defend the values and institutions of free democracy. In summary, this article delves into the intrinsic connection between authoritarianism and war, warning democratic nations against repeating the mistakes of history and stressing the necessity of steadfastly supporting Ukraine to curb the spread of authoritarianism and uphold the future of free democracy. Below is a briefing based on the content of multiple articles provided. November 19, 2024 Briefing, Foreign Affairs Magazine Special. 1. Former President Trump's re-election will significantly impact the trajectory of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Kotkin believes that Trump's unpredictability could have a dual effect on Ukraine, potentially worsening the situation or leading to unexpected outcomes, such as Ukraine possibly joining NATO under Trump's administration. 2. The changing relationships among the US, China, and Russia represent the biggest challenge currently facing the US. The liberal international order, dominated by the US for the past 70 years, has achieved great success but has also provoked dissatisfaction and backlash from other countries. Finding a way to maintain US dominance while better accommodating the demands of emerging powers is a key issue that needs to be addressed. 3. Trump represents a deeply rooted cultural characteristic in America, and his election reflects profound changes in American society. While some of Trump's rhetoric and actions are concerning, equating him simply with authoritarianism or fascism is inappropriate, as the US system and culture still possess strong restraining forces. 4. The biggest challenge facing the future Trump administration will be managing the contradiction between America's global commitments and its actual capabilities. Both Obama and Biden have struggled to effectively balance this contradiction. While Trump's rhetoric may differ from his predecessors, he will ultimately face the same dilemma. 5. Turkish President Erdogan plans to propose a peace plan for Ukraine at the G20 summit, which includes freezing the current front lines, preventing Ukraine from joining NATO, supplying weapons to Ukraine, and deploying international peacekeeping forces in the Donbas region. However, Russia has already stated that this proposal is unacceptable. In summary, Trump's re-election will have profound implications for US foreign policy and global influence. The US needs to seek a balance between protecting its interests and addressing the demands of emerging powers. Additionally, the future direction of the Ukraine conflict will depend on the policy orientation of the Trump administration. Briefing. Overview of selected content from New Scientist magazine this week. 1. The sturgeon sculptures in New York's Hudson River Park bring unexpected joy to children. These large blue and orange sturgeon models have captured children's interest, allowing them to explore and play within them. 2. A recent study found that COVID-19 infection may lead to tumor shrinkage. Researchers discovered that the RNA of the COVID virus can trigger the development of unique immune cells with anti-cancer properties. These immune cells can infiltrate blood vessels and tumors, directly attacking cancer cells, thereby aiding in tumor reduction. This finding offers new possibilities for future cancer treatments. 3. Although this discovery is still in its early stages, researchers believe that manipulating this pathway could help many different types of cancer patients, especially those with advanced cancers. They plan to conduct clinical trials to safely and effectively utilize this finding to assist cancer patients. In summary, this week's content in New Scientist magazine covers a range of topics from children's play to cancer treatment, showcasing the potential of scientific research in improving human lives. Smithsonian Institution Briefing. November 19, 2024. Overview. 1. The Smithsonian Institution is the world's largest museum, education, and research organization, and volunteers have been an essential part of it since its founding in 1846. 2. The Smithsonian was initially established with the legacy of British scientist James Smithson, aimed at increasing and diffusing knowledge. Over the past 160 years, the institution has expanded continuously, establishing numerous museums, research centers, and zoos. 3. Volunteers have played a crucial role in the institution's development, from the early meteorological observers to later specimen collectors and satellite trackers, making significant contributions to the institution's mission. Currently, the institution has over 13,000 volunteers, double the number of employees. 4. The new Deputy Secretary for Finance and Administration, Ronald Cortez, is responsible for managing and operating the institution's 21 museums, National Zoo, education centers, research facilities, and leading over 2,000 professionals in providing support in human resources, finance, IT, procurement, and facilities management. 5. Cortez previously served as the finance director at the University of California, Irvine, and San Francisco State University, successfully maintaining full employment during the pandemic. He also made significant contributions to the expansion of university medical centers and health science campuses. In summary, the Smithsonian Institution is a vibrant and traditional organization, with volunteers playing an indispensable role in its development. The new Deputy Secretary Cortez will lead the institution toward new achievements in its future endeavors.